Hi, everyone. Today's lesson is based on a question that I received from one of my YouTube videos, which states if you haven't already covered two-way checkback, this is another convention that is used by almost every strong pair. No one should be teaching new amount of forcing. The only advantage is perhaps that there will be fewer forgets. Very few pairs play new amount of forcing, have clear, very few pairs that play this have clear agreements on the follow-ups. And so I agree. So if you've learned new minor forcing, this is essentially asking your partner more about their hand. You bid a new suit and it's a minor suit and it is forcing. Two-way checkback or two-way new minor forcing is one of those rare conventions that in my opinion is actually easier to remember than new minor forcing, and it's better. Usually you add complexity when things are better, but that is not the case here. So we're going to go over some examples of what this looks like. Essentially, we're going to be focusing on the major suit today. So if the bidding starts one minor, one major, one no trump, that's always the start. One heart, one spade in terms of the responses, and then a no trump rebid from the opening bidder. And I'll explain kind of what this means by hopping into some examples. So in this auction, West decides to open a club. East bids one heart, which is 4+ and forcing, and West rebids one no trump, which is a balanced 12 to 14 count. If I'm looking at East's hand, East knows that they don't have a game. And they can simply add up their points, 7, plus the maximum that opener has, 14, and they would much rather play in two diamonds than anything else. And this is one of the main advantages of two-way new minor forcing. If you think about the old version, they would need to bid two diamonds here, which would be a new minor, and it would be forcing. So they wouldn't be able to play two diamonds. In this system, two clubs forces opener to bid two diamonds. It's 100% mandatory. And two diamonds is game forcing. So I'll say that again. Two clubs, regardless of opener's suit, forces two diamonds. And two diamonds, regardless of opener's suit, forces to game. And two clubs oftentimes is showing invitational values, but not always. And this first example is one of those not always moments. This allows East to pass the two diamond bid. They knew their partner had to bid two diamonds, and so they're able to safely bid two clubs. Their partner is forced to bid two diamonds, and it will go all pass. So you're able to sign off at the 2 level rather than the 3 level, which is a big advantage of this system. Let's keep going into some of the other more invitational hands. So in this auction, West decides to open a club for whatever reason in East with 5 spades and 4 hearts. Will bid their longest suit first. So it goes one club, one spade. West rebids one no trump, which you'll see as a theme in all of these examples, or most of them. And then East is looking at their hand and thinking, I have 11 points. I sure would love to find out if partner has either 3 spades or 4 hearts. And you'll notice that West can't show their 4 hearts. You bid a spade. Now this is the problem oftentimes when you have a 4-card heart suit, you can't always show it. Think about it, if West opens a club and East were to bid 1 heart, now opener can show 4 spades by bidding 1 spade. But when responder, or your partner, bids 1 spade, you're not able to bid 2 hearts. That would be a reverse. It would not describe the hand. And so oftentimes opener will have 4 hearts in this auction. And if you have 4 hearts as well, responding to your opener's bid, you want to make sure you can find that. And so because you have invitational values, you go through the 2 club relay. So you would bid 2 clubs, your partner is forced to bid 2 diamonds, and then you bid 2 hearts. This is simply asking your partner, do you have 4 hearts? Because I am 5'4", and I know that you weren't able to show 4 hearts if you were able. And so opener says, yes, I do have 4 hearts. I have 2 aces, a decent hand. And then responder with the singleton is able to kick it into game. So this has allowed the partnership to find a very nice 4-4 heart fit while describing on the way invitational values. That is different than our next example, which we'll show here. And this auction is very similar. However, East does not have invitational values. East is not interested in game. And so this bid, 1 spade, and then 2 hearts after the 1 no trump rebid, because you didn't go through the 2-way new minor forcing 2 diamonds or 2 clubs, you just bid 2 hearts. That is a weaker bid. And so by not bidding 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, you are also signaling to your partner that you don't have those hands, that this is weak. And so oftentimes you'll be 5-5 with this type of bid, but not always. And opener is designed or in prioritizing showing preference. And in this situation, they could switch back to spades if they wanted to, but given the fact that they have ace, queen, 4th of hearts, they simply pass and play in a very nice 2-heart contract. Let's keep going. This is a spade game, and let's see how we got here. So opener bid 1 club with 3-3. East bids 1 heart up the line. We bid our 4 card suits up the line. West bids 1 no trump, showing 12 to 14 balanced. East, looking at their hand, they have a nice 11 count with a singleton. They would love to see if partner has either 4 hearts or 4 spades. Because if they do, that singleton just becomes extremely valuable. And the opener bids 2 diamonds as they must. East bids 2 spades. Now, this doesn't always mean that they're going to have 5 hearts and 4 spades because they bid up the line. So this shows at least 4 hearts and at least 4 spades, and asks opener to bid their spade suit if they have it, or potentially bid a heart suit if they were to have that. Now look at opener's hand. You might be asking yourself, why didn't they bid 1 spade? In modern bridge with 4-3-3-3 distribution, the 1 no trump bid is superior, especially because the spades are decent. You have the ace, but you don't have any spots. So I agree with the 1 no trump rebid here. Modern bridge, if you were to show your spade suit, you would be unbalanced. And so that 2 spade bid asks partner to prioritize, do we have a fit in a major? So the fact that opener bids 3 spades tells me and tells East that now that we found a fit, my singleton has become very valuable, and I'm more than happy to go to game with this hand. Let's look at another example. This one, opener bids 1 club. East, again, bids up the line. And West rebids 1 no trump, again, a 4-3-3 distribution. East bids 2 diamonds, game forcing. Opener bids 2 hearts. The priority there is trying to show, even though they have 4 spades and 3 hearts, you want to bid the cheaper one first. And so that 2 heart bid is simply saying that I have 3 hearts. Now, East doesn't necessarily need to have 5 hearts in this auction. And so by bidding 2 spades, they're communicating the point across that I'm not really interested in a 4-3 heart fit. I was mostly trying to see if you have four spades. And that's exactly what the two spade bid shows. You do not need to worry about this getting passed out because remember, the two diamond bid is game forcing. So you're able to keep the bidding and the communication at a lower level. And West, after looking at the two spade bid, will say, yes, I do have four spades. I wasn't able to bid them before because I had a very flat 4-3-3 distribution. And now if you have anything extra, feel free to go to game. And again, with that singleton, East indeed does go to game. Let's continue with our examples. In this auction, West opens a club, East bids one heart up the line. After the one no trump rebid, East has a game forcing hand with a very nice 16 count, bids two diamonds. The reason why they bid two diamonds is because they're not sure if partner has four spades. So they'd rather play in four spades than three no trump. For the most part, you really want to check. You know that ace double ten of clubs is a little bit dubious. And so West duly bids two hearts, the cheaper of hearts and spades. That is not interesting to East. East only has four hearts. And if West were to have four hearts originally, they would have bid them. And so East, looking at their hand, listening to partner's maximum of 14, simply kicks it into three no trump because that seems like the best contract. Now West is going to be asking themselves the question, why did East bid two diamonds instead of simply bidding three no trump right off the get-go? And I already showed that I had three hearts as opener. And East wasn't interested. East simply bid three no trump after I showed the fact that I had three hearts. And so that has to mean two things. One, East does not have five hearts because they'd be playing in a heart game. And two, because East went through two diamonds to check and they weren't interested in hearts, it means they have to have four spades. And so West, looking at that three no trump bid, looking at the fact they went through two diamonds, corrects to a four spade contract, which should do very well. This is the first example we've seen with a two no trump rebid. Now, there is another system over a two no trump rebid that we're not going to touch on today called Wolf sign-off that I would recommend. But in this quick example, if you know where game is, just bid it. If you think to the previous example, if you knew three no trump was going to be the best contract because your partner didn't have four hearts, you just bid it. So in this example, you know opener has 18 or 19 points. You are looking at your own 9 points in the quick math with a a 6 card spade suit. You know opener has at least two spades with the two no trump bid. You're able to just kick it into game. So don't overcomplicate things and use conventions just because you know them if you are already confident where the right game should be. A few more examples. This one, West opens a club. Now East is 5-5. And if you're 5-5 with a game forcing hand, you want to start by bidding the higher ranking suit. And so one spade is bid. This is slam interest. So after West rebids one no trump, you bid three hearts, which gets across that 5-5 distribution. And West shows the fact that they have three spades, which is more likely the case. When you bid this way, you're going to have five spades in the auction. So West is going to show that they have a spade fit, and East starts to Q bid. Once you've agreed upon a suit, these suits are going to be Q bids. Now, East was not able to bid four clubs because they have two small clubs. And West is looking at their hand, and as excited as they might be, they're going to have to sign off in four spades because it looks like, based on East's inability to bid four clubs Q, that they have two immediate club losers, which is the case. Now, what you're giving up here in this situation, East has a very bad hand and they would like to play in two clubs. That is not possible because we have given up the two club bid for this system. And so when you have a weak hand and you know you want to play in clubs, you have to jump to three clubs. Now that is a little bit preemptive, so it's not all bad, but one thing to take into consideration, because most conventions that you adopt, you give up something and you need to understand what you're giving up and how to rectify it to discuss with your partner. In this situation, you were forced to the 3 level to show weak hands with clubs. This auction starts out a heart, and East is looking at their hand and thinking, well, I could bid 2 hearts, and you might at the table. But given the fact that you have 5 spades, you would love to find out if you have a double fit, because that means you could probably go to game with less than the usual 25 points. And so East decides to bid a spade after hearing West 1-note trump rebid. East looks at their hand and thinks, okay, well, I have 7 points. We don't have game. I'm going to correct back to partner's heart suit. And that conveys the message that I was simply trying to see if you had a spade fit and potentially a double fit. But that's what the 2 heart bid here means. Again, you didn't go through 2 clubs, you didn't go through 2 diamonds. And so that would be a different situation. So this is non-forcing and West duly passes. I'm not going to talk about this because it is minors. Let's just focus on majors today. This is kind of similar to one that we talked about earlier. So West opens a club, East bids a spade. After hearing 1-note trump, East has a game forcing hand with a nice 12 count, and the opening bidder bids 2 hearts instead of 2 spades. That's always the priority. East bids 3-note trump, and knowing, very similar, that East has bid 3-note trump, after bidding 2 diamonds, they were looking for something. And West in this situation knows that I already showed hearts. They're not interested in hearts. So the only other reason they'd be looking and going through 2 diamonds is because they were asking if I had 3 spades. So that must be the case. And so West corrects to 4 spades, which is a good contract. In this example, similar one, East bids a spade, goes through game forcing auction, finds out partner has 4 hearts, and they bid 2 spades. Again, we're already in a game forcing auction, so you can bid spades to start to communicate the fact that you have 5. Now, West is able to show, yes, I had 4 hearts, but I wasn't able to show 3 spades. Now I can. That's another advantage here. Remember, like, we're already in a game forcing auction, so you can stay low and communicate and describe your hand without the risk of being passed. And so East, even though they have only 12 points, they have 2 aces, they have a singleton, and they're able to take that information and put the partnership in the best contract, which is 4 spades. So I hope this was helpful. I would very highly encourage 2-way new minor forcing in all partnerships. Like I mentioned before, it is one of those rare ones that is easier than simple new minor forcing, in my opinion, because 2 diamonds is always going to mean the same thing, and 2 clubs always forces 2 diamonds and allows you to sign off if that's where you want to play. So please like and subscribe if you want me to do some more of these videos. If you want to see other videos or other techniques, just leave a comment and I will record. Have a good day.